She noticed her questions were making them tense, and one day her class hit their limit. After she asked a dozen things about clouds, the class hollered, "Please stop! Just quit it! Stop!" So this story is called The Girl with Big, Big Questions by Britney Winn Lee.
That's a funny name for the author.
It's a nice name, I like it.
It's funny name.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. There once was a girl with twinkling eyes and a very curious mind. This girl was always asking questions whose answers weren't easy to find. Look what she's thinking. These are all her thinking thoughts here. Thinking thoughts? She's got fireflies and a ship in a bottle and a... What's that? Pterodactyl?
A pterodactyl.
What's behind it?
A volcano.
Yeah. What's this one? Postcards? Penguins and a brain. Oh, and a meteoroid.
What's a meteor?
It's a star or a piece of rock that is flying through space.
Wow.
The world is so very interesting. She wanted to learn all she could, from what makes a plane stay in the sky to what makes each person good. What's she thinking here?
Play with balloons?
Do you think that's how planes stay in the sky?
No.
I don't actually know how they stay in the sky, but I know they don't use balloons. What's this one? It's a superhero maybe. And how the earth spins.
Why does he need a boat?
I think he's lifting it up. I think he's flying and holding it up.
Why?
Because he's a superhero. Her days were filled with adventures galore, since her mind was so full of wonder. How long can a turtle stay in its shell? Why does lightning come from before thunder? Why does it come before thunder?
I don't know.
And why does a turtle or tortoise stay in a shell?
Uh-oh.
What's that on him?
A spiderweb.
Spiderweb. Why can't people live on the moon? What happens to stars when they fall? When will you let me stay up all night? Why even have bedtime at all? Well, first of all, why do we have bedtime?
Because it's late.
We need to sleep, and our body needs to gain energy back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And why can't we stay on the moon?
Because we're going to heaven.
Right, okay. What does the dog do while I'm at school? How was the whole world made? And why do we have big hearts that can feel hurt and upset and afraid? Now, these are very good questions.
What's she on?
She's on a bus.
Why?
She's going to school and she's saying, what does the dog do while I'm at school? And how was the whole world made? Who made the world?
Jesus.
What's the very first Bible verse?
The beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Hey. Could I fly if I got a good running start? The nearest volcano is where? Are monsters real? What's Spanish for blue? Is it okay to cut my own hair? What do you think? And are monsters real?
No.
And what's Spanish for blue? I don't actually know. Daddy probably does. I don't speak Spanish.
What's that?
It's a monster. Oh, it's a volcano.
With tea?
And look, she's asking her friend, like, I want to know these answers. For the moment she opened her eyes for the day to the time she was tucked into bed, She asked and asked and asked and asked every question that popped in her head. She's got so many questions. Look, do the sun and the moon fight? Do fish wear hats and ties? What's this caveman thinking? There's a unicorn there. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Mushrooms, eyes, light bulbs. Is that a toilet? I don't know. What is that? Is that a toilet? So many questions. What is it then? I don't know.
What's that?
It's like a band-aid or a plaster.
What's that?
The star or sun.
What's that?
What do you think?
A tooth. What's that?
That looks like a plug socket.
And it bursts.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
An eye.
What's that?
Light bulb.
What's that?
A dot. At first, her neighbours, teachers and friends tried to answer her wonder-filled mind.
What's
But
that?
after a while, their encouraging smiles were replaced by the rolling of eyes.
What's that?
Maybe a doctor?
It doesn't have a stethoscope.
Gosh, there's an injection there, look. And that's like a drip, an IV. And there's like blood. There's a plumber. She's asking the plumber questions. She's asking the doctor questions. She's asking her friends questions. And they're like, oh my goodness, you ask too many questions. She noticed her questions were making them tense. And one day her class hit their limit. After she asked a dozen things about clouds, the class hollered, please stop! Just quit it! Stop! Do you think she's driving them a bit crazy with all of our questions? Embarrassed, the girl tried to quiet her thoughts and not raise a voice so curious, so that no one would be too uncomfortable or even worse, furious. Oh, she's got so many questions that haven't been answered. But one day she found the nest of a bird built low and exposed near the ground. Why would a nest not be in a tree, she wondered, then looked all around. I wonder why. Why do you think the bird's nest is there? What do you think happened?
I don't know.
It's not very safe for a bird to have a nest that low, is it?
No.
A cat might get it, a dog might get it, might get knocked by a football or something.
Yeah.
She was all by herself with no one to ask, so she ran to the library shelves. She read about cities and the lack of safe places for birds to build nests for themselves. There wasn't enough trees in the city then maybe. Because look, the bird has built a nest on the traffic lights, on top of a ledge. So the birds need trees, but when you're in a city, there's not many trees, is there? So maybe the bird just didn't have a place to build a nest. Like hunting for treasure, she searched and learned more answers that made her frown. With an urgent report, she announced to her class, there are not enough trees in our town.
Look.
Oh yeah, she's brought the nest home. There are not enough trees in our town. So what do you think she might do? What do you think she should do?
Plant some.
Good idea. The class now moved by this information, asked questions about how to embark on a project to help both the birds and their neighbours by planting more trees in their park. Fantastic. That's a great idea.
Look.
And what do trees give us?
Oxygen.
Hey.
Look. Tree, 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 tree.
Oh my goodness, there's loads of trees. Look, it says here, for the birds. I think that's a great idea. More trees for the birds. And trees are also good for us as well, aren't they? Because they give us oxygen. The girl knew that big questions are good and answers aren't just things to know. They are things to discover alongside each other. Asking questions is how we all grow. Fantastic. So she's like, it's really good to ask questions because you get to learn more things. The end. This one's for Jason, who whose mind has always been magic to me. BWL.
Mom, can we see another bit?